And we are here. Hello. Sorry. Better late than never, right? Is that what we say? Uncle Doug's on here with us too. If he wants to say hi.
Hello.
Hi, Monica. It's been a minute since I've seen you, girl. Where have you been? It's good that you're in the comments, so you're the first one to comment. So we're not going live in the link today because there was a little bit of a discrepancy of where it was pointing to, and we just very quickly got this back up and running. So hi, Kathy, it's good to see you. I'm very excited for today for the forest pool jewelry demo. There we go. I'll put it up a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better so it's not so zoomed in. Very excited for this today. Uncle Doug, which one's your favorite?
The Dragonfly earrings, for
The
sure.
dragonflies?
Hands down. They're all
Heck
great. I
yeah.
mean, I love those the most. And I
All
think
right,
Nancy will love them even better.
what's everybody else's favorite? I'm curious. Well, I've missed you too, Monica. I hope you're feeling better. Hi, Connie. Good to see you too. All right. So today is going to be relatively quick, and I know I say that quite often, but today is going to be really quick. So I think Kellen and Uncle Doug are going to be very happy with me today. I'm not going to keep them for another 3 hours. Maybe max 2 hours, I'm thinking. Max. All right. Hi, Pegs. It's good to see you too. All right, let's get into some demo work so we can get rolling on this. For those who missed the intro, they can rewatch the demo. Hi, Candy. She likes the dragonfly earrings. Monica said a toss up between the dragonfly earrings and the bracelet. Kathy wants the bracelet piece on retail, but now she can get it discounted because it's on live shop because we do have overstock of it. So good for keeping your eyes peeled. Lucine says she has no favorites. She loves it all. Hi, Janet. So good to see everybody. Okay, so I'm going to pull Uncle Doug off the screen, but he will be back for some trivia. So we'll see in a little bit. Boing. Wrong one. This one. Haha. There's like 4 different screens I have to tap. Lots of different views. Okay. I am excited for today though. I think we're going to start off probably with the bracelet first because that is the most simple thing ever. But the scene on the bracelet is absolutely stinking stunning. I had to do stinking stunning a little slow so I didn't mess it up with the double S's there. So let's pull these gorgeous pieces off the side and we will revisit those. We're going to focus in on this beauty. So the pieces that you will be getting here, let's get this Carter up. Bracelet pack, 4 pieces for $20. So they're going to come flat, but look at that scene. You have what looks like mountains and a river, some trees. Ooh, flicking it at you. The moon, very beautiful. I think this one would definitely be calling out to Monica too, especially because of where she lives in Alaska. So I thought that was absolutely stunning. Beautiful, beautiful. It is pewter based and it has a brass verde plating on it, which gives it that really pretty, like brassy high tones with that pretty green lower tone. Love it. And there's the back. The back's just flat. And then to do this bracelet, all I did was in the very, very, very ends, I just slowly with my fingers gave it a bracelet curve very slowly because you can maneuver pewter if you do it slow because it's a soft metal, but you don't want to do it fast because you will end up breaking it. So just very slowly taking your fingers. You don't even need tools for this part. Isn't that insane? And then fits perfect in that bracelet spot on your wrist. And then you add some chain. I chose chain that wasn't soldered, so I could do the direct link from the chain to the bracelet connector there. On both sides, I did a double chain into a single to the clasp. So very simple, just opening and closing some chain and using your fingers to bend your bracelet blank, which I'm going to take Vintage's comment here and brush a little bit of iridescent on the finished piece so you guys can see what it looks like all together. And I have Erie Gold on top of my thing. I pulled another Erie Gold. Okay, I'm going to try iridescent green because I don't think it's very often that I see people using Erie green. I see a lot of people using the Erie Gold and the Erie Violet. Sometimes Erie blue, but I think Erie green might be the one that might be the least used out of the Eries. So let's use this one. I'm going to dry off a brush here so we can see what it looks like with some really pretty iridescent green on top. Oh. Dry this off. Beautiful. I'm just going to do my finished piece so I can keep as many pieces of the normal one I can to sell. Kathy likes the Dragonfly earrings. Oh, Jean. Aunt Jean can't stay for long because she's prepping for Friday's jewelry box trend class. That's cool. Thanks, Patty. She said it's very cute. So I'm just going to drizzle some of that on. And then I'm going to come in, spread it with the brush. I think my brush could have been a little less wet because it didn't really dry it all the way, but it's moving the Erie around really nice. So we can do some of that because it is a green piece. That's why I have also chosen the Erie green. Dry this off a little bit over here. Grab my heat gun because that'll speed up my paint drying process. Get that bubble out of there. That's a really pretty sheen. I have used the Erie green more than I thought I would. That's good. Super good. Monica said, as soon as I saw those, they went into my cart. I figured so. I was like, that's totally up your alley. Love it. But yeah, that's really pretty. With just a touch of the Erie green just really amplifies the scenery there. Very pretty. It's more shiny than this normal one that has not been painted yet either. Super pretty. So add some iridescent to your bracelets. Cart 100. $20 for 4 bracelet connectors. So 4 pieces for $20. Cart 100. It's a pewter-based, brass verde plated bracelet connector. Absolutely stunning. And super easy to make. And it's very beautiful when it's on. Kathy likes the Erie. Me too. Oh, good, Monica. That means the gifts that I've been sending are perfect for you, because that's what I was thinking. Beautiful. Just give me a little look at that sheen there versus, I think just the brassy color really does the sheen on the normal one, but the whole thing shimmers when you have it coated with the Erie. Love it. Very pretty. Oh my goodness, a negative 5-degree high sounds terrible. Sorry, Monica, I wouldn't want to be you today, that's for sure. Trying to keep that fire going. Alright, next we're going to get to our Dragonfly earrings. Well, actually, we should probably pause for a trivia because today's going to go quick. And I'm thinking about Uncle Doug over there, and I also need to show the Big Loot giveaway. So give me 1 second while I bring him back on. All right, Uncle Doug.
Wow. You jumped right in. You woke me up from my nap.
Heck yeah. We're going quick today.
I got to find some trivia here.
Okay. While you do that, I'm going to say that this is our first one. So it'll be the wood pack with the 2 different leather cuts in it. Which these are fantastic to get. I love it when we're sending out leather. Oh, good. Monica, that makes me feel so good. We are back to spring today.
Yeah.
I think it was, what, 40
41?
degrees here yesterday? Is it
It was
40
supposed to be
today, too?
40s, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really just a nasty tease.
Yeah.
Because February is the worst.
All right.
All right. Are we ready for trivia?
Yepers.
Or do you want to show the big bad boy? We can do that afterwards.
We'll do that after, yeah.
Okay. So here's our current trivia and our questions going out to Facebook and YouTube. According to the U.S. Census, which state has the shortest one-way commute to work? And you can't say Minnesota daycares. Too soon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they were to redo it, all the home health cares and daycares in Minnesota would be viewing the distance.
Oh, it's 50 where Kathy's at.
Wow,
It's 55 degrees
55.
where Pam's
I'm
at. She said
checking
her
out all
husband's
the
golfing.
responses over here. Wow, yeah.
I'm
Vermont?
sure Ian
55
would
in Vermont.
love to play golf right now. Oh, Aunt Jean's furnace went out, so she's been keeping warm with the fireplace and space heaters till it can be repaired. Well, hey, those fireplaces, I tell you what, you can heat your whole home with one fireplace. We've done it at Mom and Dad's. It's so nice.
And we have a winner.
Okay.
It's winner, chicken dinner, Monica Thompson.
Woo-hoo! Go, girl! Love it. Monica got the leather and the wood.
Well,
good job, Monica.
I think I got the appropriate picture for Monica today.
Yay. Let's see what you got. I'm going to put you big screen so it's easier for them to see.
Okay.
It's got to write Monica's name on there. I do love these trivias, though, because it gives everybody the opportunity to win based off of some general knowledge, but it also gives you some product that you can work with and make money off of just for answering a stinking trivia question. Oh, those are so cute. Little mittens because it's cold.
Yeah, you can wear them indoors, too.
Here, we'll express ship those to you, Monica, so you can stay warm.
Well, I tell you what, we'll put your winning trivia in there, and we'll send them with your next order.
There you go.
Stay warm until then.
Your wood and leather will be kept warm through transit.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you over here, Uncle Doug.
I'll be right over. Flink me off here.
Wonderful. Good job. If I could, I would only have a fireplace, or like one upstairs and one downstairs to heat my whole home. I love fireplaces. Love. And I told Ian that's a requirement for our next house. Is to have at least one fireplace. All right.
We love the fireplace.
I just love it.
It's not efficient the way we were using it.
Yeah.
But it just feels so good.
I know.
It's not, pulls heat out of the house.
Right. When Mom and Dad came up, we had the fireplace running like over Christmas visiting and stuff like that. It was just so nice to sit in front of there and play some games. All right, let's get these components up here. I'm going to do one of each component so it's easier to see while I'm doing this. So, for these earrings, not only is the earring kit, so I'm going to pop up the earring kit first, which comes with everything you need to make these earrings, findings and all. So you get your 2 dragonflies, so you get 2 of these silver hoops, 2 of this JR114. It's a really cool, very textured jump ring, and it's thick. So I thought it looked really good with the dragonflies here. You're going to get 6 JR106s, and you're going to get 2 ER40s, which I have somewhere. There we go. And you're going to get 2 of these ER40s. So everything that you need to make this kit does come in this kit. Cart 101, 14 pieces for $24. So everything that you need to make this kit, you can get for $24, cart 101. Everything in here is natural brass, except for this hoop. This hoop is brass-based, though, and it is plated silver. It's only heats the main room. Oh, sure. You point some fans to the other 2 rooms. You'll get that heat sucking in there real quick. Ooh, that seems cool, Monica. That's what Ian's brother does. He heats his whole cabin with a fireplace up in Alaska, which is really cool. All right, now getting into construction, I'm going to take the earring kit down while I go through the components once more, because I do have these 2 available in bulk packs. I do not have these available in bulk packs because we don't have much overstock. I can potentially do this one, so a little bit later I might add that depending. So look out for this one coming on the live shop by the end of today. And then you can get the Dragonfly pack, 4 pieces for $19, cart 102, that natural brass Dragonfly. You guys know that I do use this piece a lot, and I have been keeping all of the finished jewelry inspiration photos in each of the listings per the product that I use. So you can see a lot of different ways that this Dragonfly has been used on vintageliveshop.com in the product listing for the Dragonflies. And that goes for any DIY component that I'm showing you today with the cart numbers. So cart 102, Dragonfly pack, 4 pieces for $19. It is natural brass. And then you can also get this hoop pack in bulk, 8 pieces for $22. I have 1 more pack of the natural brass finish of this hoop. So if you want that, grab it. Otherwise, you'll only be able to get the silver version, which is brass-based, but it is plated silver. Cart 103, 8 pieces. You can choose natural brass or silver plated. I only have 1 left of natural brass, so if you want it, go get it. But they're absolutely stunning, and I have used this piece a couple times as well. If you want to visit that inspiration, visit vintageliveshop.com and go into that product listing. All right, now into construction, the fun part, the super fun part. I'm going to take these jump rings and ear wire away because I really want to focus on the wrap part, which is ridiculously easy. Your beginner jewelry friends, if you're a beginner yourself, will be able to easily execute this. I'm telling you, it is so easy. All right. And to be notified of these live events and classes, text LIVE live to 855-948-2148. Reminders are sent 5 minutes before the event begins, and then you also get notified for pre-sales, etc., etc. So glad we were able to. The photos are very helpful, says Candy. Good. I'm glad Terry, both Terry and Candy agree on that. It is difficult looking for inspiration just normally online without the product being used in it. So that's why we're doing that. And if you ever feel like you're having a creator's block, which make sure you grab your round nose pliers for this, you can always visit Jewelry by Corian on Facebook or Instagram, and you can see a lot of my past designs and everything just filtered in on one spot. So if you're ever looking, go hop over to that Instagram or that Facebook. You don't have to scroll a lot. I mean, everything is there. There's no advertising on it. It's just jewelry photos. So if you're feeling a little having like that creator's block, which I was the other day, I'm slowly going to roll these wings in, all 4, just slowly though, and make sure that you don't create a full loop. But I did happen to not be able to sleep the other night, so I posted like 4 or 5 times on Instagram, and I was like, listen ladies, I can't sleep, here's my jewelry podcast. Let me know if you have questions, and kind of just browse or whatever you need to do to gain your inspiration. Because I had just commented on that too. I was like, I don't know when I'm going to run out of design inspiration, but it's really hard to run out when you have so many versatile pieces that you can work with coming from vintage. So once in a while, our brains might get a little foggy, but just know that the possibilities are endless when you're working with vintage pieces. All right, so this is where I'm about right now. I'm trying to ensure that my wing ends that are coming up are pretty even in between. And to gauge, I'm going to thread this up through those wings there. So you see there's a little bit of space. That was a little too easy. So I'm going to curl those wings in just a little bit more. What, Stephanie? What did I say? She's on YouTube. She goes, Corian, ... LOL. What? What did I say? That's so funny. The text notifications are great, especially if you're not on social media very often and you don't want to be like monitoring the social media. Definitely just sign up for those text messages, and then we'll say, hey, this is ready, go look, instead of you having to be like, I have to check the site every hour, which, hey, that's not a bad thing either, but it can become very dangerous when you're doing that. Oh, of course, Laura. Thank you. Yes, the vintage Pinterest has a really good selection of inspiration to go through. So you see how I'm just gliding this circle in through the wings? It's a little tough, but that's good because it's supposed to be tight. It's supposed to be really tight. That looks about right. I want to make sure that these two are pretty even when it comes to touching the silver hoop there. But yeah, there's just endless possibilities, you guys. And I was like, I can't sleep, so I'm just gonna post a bunch, and then you guys can just listen to my complaints about designing jewelry. Because I'm like, okay, what do you guys do when you have a creator's block? Do you search up like Google images? Like, what do you do? And I had said that sometimes what I do, I'm going to take my chain nose and I'm just folding these ends over top of the hoop so they encompass that. But I said, if I run into a design block, whatever the case may be, I usually just have to step away and just do something completely different. Like, not jewelry related at all. Like, I have to go out and do organizing or something just to get my brain working like that again. Because it's so difficult sometimes to create inspiration when you don't have inspiration yourself. And I always browse. It's a little harder to browse now that there's not a search option, but you can. I'm going over top and I'm just pushing these in, these wings underneath the silver hoop there, just by using this motion and like gliding it under. If that makes sense. I'm trying to talk and demo at the same time. I'm one of those that does not like quiet, dead stuff. I have to talk. I have to work my way through it. And I even do this while I'm designing instead of just, doing the demo. While I'm designing the initial designs, I am talking to myself or singing to myself. I'm going to hammer this just a little bit because it's a little too tall. Just a tiny bit because I need it to go over my silver hoop. That's pretty good. And then I'm going to round her in. Round her in. Beautiful. Looking good, looking good. It's not going anywhere. And then your last portion is wrapping this tail. I did a double. No insect was harmed. You're right, I didn't do any cutting. I just molded his wings. So on this double loop here, we're going to go down and around and back over and then tuck that end tail right behind that silver hoop there. I did that with my chain nose. Also, it's a lot easier to use the relief block when your dragonfly isn't already wrapped. So in the case that you do that, you want to relief first, but you can do it afterwards. But it's a lot easier to do it before than after. Are the hoop packs available on wholesale? I don't believe so, but maybe Jean can answer you on that. I can't remember off the top of my head. So I'm just slowly maneuvering this around. I'm going to kind of crimp it here and then tuck this tail back under by gliding. See how that pushed it back through the top there, or to the front? Nervous energy. One of my Pinterest boards is Vintage, where I save my favorite designs. Oh, that's neat, Pam. I'm popping up your comment there. Just guiding my pliers. And I'm going to tuck this end up and over, but I need to bring it over just a little bit to make that hoop curve. I'm going to maybe adjust this to the side just a little bit so I can ensure that it's not going up the other side so you can't see it through the other side. Maybe I'll crimp that a little bit. That looks pretty good. Hi, Sherry! That's literally what I said when we first started the live. She goes, better late than never. Well, guess what, girl? We were late to broadcasting this live by like 5 minutes anyhow. So you're all good. You are perfect. All right, now I'm going to take this relief block to it. This is going to highlight all of the high points, the detailed points on the dragonfly. I really like it when I get the darker natural brass because the highlighting shows up way better when you have the dark metal versus a little bit of the lighter metal. That's looking pretty good. See, the high points are relieved. And then I took 2 JR106s right here in between my 2 antennas. We're going to string those on. Where's my other chain nose? And then close that. 2. The specialty jump ring pack that did have these in it, one of the items I sold out of, so couldn't make any more of that. But if you liked the specialty jump ring pack, let me know and I can make another one with a different jump ring. So on my center here, you can see that my 2 jump rings are wanting to fall. And it's because my dragonfly isn't touching my silver spot. So I'm just gonna maybe crimp those down a little bit so they end up touching the silver and then make it less likely that my jump rings are going to switch to either side. Way better. So they just sit in the middle there. Beautiful. Take that big fat jump ring, that JR114. This one's a little bit harder to open and close because it is way thicker. String that onto my JR106s. Close it. A little more flush here. One more JR106 on top of that JR114. And then you're going to end with your ER40. Now, your ER40, I faced it like it would be considered a ER006 because this jump ring is way too thick for me to use with this ear wire. So what I did is I took my loop with my chain nose and I just make it front facing, like that. That looks pretty good. And then we open up our ear wire or your jump ring, either or, whatever's easiest for you. And then I'm going to string that on so it's front facing. Close that ear wire up. And then there you go. There is your Dragonfly earring. Super simple. It looks way more difficult than it really is. But listen, so I've also been doing a lot of earring designs, and while I was looking at some of the earrings that I was designing for next Wednesday, this morning, I have already started designing for them, is that a lot of the earrings that I make can be necklace pendants. So if you took this Dragonfly, had your ear wires there, and then some chain. I don't have any thicker chain over here. Let's see. I'll use this as a reference here. This is just a bracelet, but you guys will get the gist of it. But you can also take my earrings and use one as a pendant. So then you can have a full matching set to do with that. How cute is that? Thanks, Cindy. She said super adorable. Hi, honeys. Hi, Lori. She said she's home. Ooh, time to think about playing. Yes, ma'am, Janet. You just did this really beautiful wrap. Oh, no, Chris. A tooth extraction? That sounds horrible. I hope you feel better. Thanks, Stephanie. She's over on YouTube. I love that I can still pop up the YouTube comments. So I'm going to revisit the Dragonfly pack, the bulk pack, cart 102, 4 pieces for $19. Natural brass Dragonfly. And then I'm going back to that earring kit. So the earring kit, without this little necklace portion there, comes with everything you need to make these earrings, findings and all. You'll get 2 Dragonflies, 2 silver-plated hoops, 6 JR106s, 2 JR114s, and 2 ER40s. So you will get all this for $24. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Now, if you wanted to make, because that only does the earring kit, right? So you might as well get a pack of the hoops and get a pack of the Dragonflies so you can create a matching necklace. You could even do a bracelet with this, probably. Let's see. That'd be pretty stinking cool to put chain on either side and connect it. All right. I think we are good to do another trivia. How does Uncle Doug feel about that? All right, let's do it. Let's bring him back on. Okay.
Okay. So, due to a little bit of honesty from Monica, I'm going to only read the question this time. I will read it 2 or 3 times because we're making it too easy to Google by pasting it in there. So I think you can copy and paste out of Facebook. Maybe not.
Yeah, you can.
You can? Okay. Let's see here. Let me find a good one. You got a good show to give
the
there?
Little charm sample.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen these before, but you know, a lot of you love
Everybody
them.
loves them.
Everybody loves them, so we thought we'd offer them again here.
It's like one of their favorites to get.
Yeah.
Sampler.
So I think what I'll do is I'll read it 3 times and then I'll end up pasting it in. How about that?
There you go.
All right, here's the trivia question. What candy was originally known as chicken feed? What candy was originally known as chicken feed?
I don't know. I'm going to run out to my car quick because I have to grab my charger from my phone.
Okay. What candy was originally known as chicken feed? That's the question. Gonna paste it in here. So my YouTubers got it and Facebookers. So I also have to say I messed up on our SMS message in that, and Nancy brought to my attention, I used the same hyperlink for the Facebook and YouTube feeds today. Sorry about that. But, oh my gosh, these answers came in so fast. Let me see, I've got to scroll way up to find out who got it. And on mine, on my view, it shows Lisa Mack. Lisa Mack had it, and then we've got some others came in very quickly after that. Cindy had it, and Stephanie over on YouTube.
Good job, Lisa.
Candy corn, I can see where that came from, right?
I don't like candy corn.
Well, there's some things you can do to make it especially good. Put it with roasted peanuts, like the Planters. Ooh, even the honey roast or the plain. That is a real way to class up or spice up your candy corn treats.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm doing another one. I saw your winner.
I gotta find something nice for Lisa here.
There's a doodle.
There's a doodle coming.
A doodle doodle.
A doodle do.
Good job, Lisa. All right.
All right, today you get a little wintry snow globe.
That's cute.
There you go, Lisa.
Isn't it cute, Janet? Depending, let me talk to Jean and see what we could potentially price these at. And, if we have to combine 2 together to, make it worth it on our end, we could potentially, because I do have a lot of these that are pre-packed. They might not all be the same, and they're going to be slightly different through each of them. But if you guys are interested in these tiny charm sampler packs, let us know in the comments. And maybe that's something we can bring up for the next.
Yeah, that's true. We do have quite a number of these. They might not be exact in the contents, but they'll be very close to what you're seeing. We've got this in natural brass and in solid brass.
Maybe we could do like a natural brass and solid brass charm pack together in one listing.
We have plenty of these to do. Maybe one of each. So put them together in the packs.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of people have made comments that they really like them, and
Lisa, if I was there, I'd have my windows open. She said 64 where she's at. That's crazy. All right. We'll see you when you get over here, Uncle Doug.
All right.
Cool beans. Lisa Mack gets this beautiful solid brass charm sampler pack. Aren't these just the cutest? Love them. Oh, there is one little natural brass smiley face in there that I did notice. But isn't that adorable? You take both the solid brass and natural brass little charm samplers. Yes, ma'am. We'll make something work. We'll figure it out. Anything for you ladies. Anything at all. You just let us know and we'll see what we can do to make it happen. Alright, I think this is going to be our next one while Uncle Doug makes his way over here. This is the really big butterfly leaf necklace. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I saw that after the fact, that smiley face, but that's good.
Yeah, it's
A
cute.
little smiley face in there too.
It's cute. Okay, yeah, you guys like the charm samplers? Cool. Alright, we'll do that. We'll do some little charm sampler packs and whatnot.
Yeah, I think we can find some.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. And it's nice because those are pre-packed, so if I could just throw a couple packs of those into your orders,
Yeah.
that would be way easier than having to pack them out. You know what I mean?
Easy.
Yeah. All right. So our first matter of business is going to be the large filigree. You're going to get 3 pieces for $20, cart 104. This filigree is huge, but it's so gorgeous. Look at that. Cart 104, 3 pieces for $20, a natural brass, massive filigree. And this is also one that we don't carry on either site. So once it's gone, it might be gone. And I know that there's not a whole lot of packs of this left, because it might be too expensive to restock. Let's see here. Ooh, did it already go out? Oh, no. Okay, we have 7 packs of this left, which that's not a whole lot. Oh. Janet, that will be something that that Jean and Doug will have to set up. But I do think that's a good idea. I'll talk to Jean. I'll talk to Jean about that. Alright, so that's our filigree. You're also going to need a large butterfly. 5 pieces for $20. Cart 105, the large natural brass butterfly. Very, 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 very beautiful. Gorgeous. 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 I just love the way that this metal looks. So pretty. Me too, Chris. Me too. Alright, so, and then you're also going to need a leaf pack. 5 pieces for $22, cart 106. And I believe there is both a natural brass and solid brass option for these leaves. So make sure you grab those. These are stunning and they're ridiculously pretty when they're painted. They are so, 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 so pretty when they're painted. So I might have to add a little color to this to make that really pop there. Though I do love just the natural metal look. I would much rather just have the natural metal, but painting does help when you have a lot of different color, or when you need a lot of different color when it's all kind of just straight colored like that. Yes, of course, Janet. All right. And then we're going to need our other connector pack, 20 pieces for $20, a buck a piece. Great deal. Cart 107, these are the natural brass connectors. These are really pretty. I use them like this, so they're double-sided. So I flip one over and the other over. That's what I did up here on this necklace. You can just barely see that there's two. So front and back looks the same when you combine them. And then some chain and findings. So let's get into how we do this. Start with our butterfly. It's got 2 hole punches already. That's perfect. We don't need to do any more. So let's relief our butterfly here. Bring that pack back up since that's what I'm working on. Looking good. Really highlighting. Sometimes this is easier too. I don't want to jostle my camera around too much, but I want to show you guys like how I do this. There we go. That's much better. So that's what it looks like with taking a relief block to it. Gorgeous. Same thing for our leaf down here. Take the relief block to it. This is the same leaf that I used for my leaf earrings and leaf necklace, the matching set that I wore for Jack and Emily's wedding last June, which is also photographed in this product listing. So if you want to go visit that at vintageliveshop.com and click into the leaf listing, you'll see the other designs that I've done with this leaf. And the way that I painted those, it was insane. I had so many people asking for them when I was at the wedding. And I'm like, we'll see. My favorite was that this little, maybe she was like 8, in between like 8 and 10 years old. And she was just in love with them. So now that I'm thinking about it, I was actually going to make some for her and send them with Jack and Emily so they could give them to her. So I'll have to do that. That was something I kind of forgot to do. Oops. But that happens. So same concept with our ER40 that we adjusted the loop on so it would be front facing. We're going to kind of do that with this leaf stem as well to give us a loop on the top. Ooh, the connectors make good bails, Candy. That is a really good idea. I'm going to put that up there. You're talking about these ones, right? I wouldn't even have thought. That is so smart. That is super smart. Can you create a bail with like this, like looped over with the butterfly? Would be super pretty too. Good idea. All right. So we're going to create our loop first. Start at the top of the stem and wrap it down into a nice loop. I'm going to take this end in just a little bit more. Beautiful. I'm going to stand it up straight so it's not... Ooh, I got to move that back. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to tuck that tail in a bit more so I know that that won't come undone. I'm going to roll over it just a tiny bit. Beautiful. And then from the front, I'm going to take it like I took that ER40. I'm going to take my chain nose on either side of it. And I'm just going to very slowly, remind you, before you start cranking it, very slowly twist it to the side. And then I'll be able to reclose my loop. So I'm going to bend it back this way first so I can get a very nice straight loop. And then I'm going to retuck. There we go. So now we have made a loop out of our stem, which looks super good. And then on this piece, I did quite a bit of cutting. If you can tell, I'm going to flap my butterfly up. So with this filigree, I cut out the whole center of the filigree to create a filigree frame that my butterfly could hang on. Like this. Instead of, do the full filigree again. Instead of the full filigree. Now you can do the full filigree. It looks absolutely stunning. But I cut out the whole center. So you can do it either way. Full filigree or with the cutout center. If you have an iPhone, you can take a screenshot and it will copy text from the photo. Yes, Android does that too, though. Both iPhone and Android do that. I just heard that Android actually just overtook iPhone and not like bought them or anything, but they are the biggest phone brand now is Samsung again. They're back on top. Pushing iPhone down to the ground. I tell you what, iPhones look the same every year. It's not like you're getting anything different other than like new software. Basically. Isn't that crazy? I've noticed that. I was comparing my 6-year-old phone to my brand new phone. Yeah, looks identical. It's not really a point to get a new one other than for the software stuff. Alright, so for our inside filigree, you're an Android user? Yeah. I love the butterfly too. I'm going to take my shears here. Not my shears, but my flush cutters. And I'm going to kind of follow this inside line all the way around. So you'll see that some places it's connecting a bit more, so you're going to have to sand those spots a little bit more, but that's totally okay. I just want this outside ring, so I'm going to take care of this inside ring and get that taken out. So to start, which you can always adjust, I'm just going to come in and clip where I know for sure that I'm going to have the frame, the decent sized frame here. And this metal's a little bit harder to cut because it is a little thicker. So just be patient with your tools and yourself. And the angles that we're cutting this can be a little difficult too. Alright, so I'm separated right there from my frame. And then I'm probably going to start here, and I'm going to cut there because it's a lot easier to cut here than it is to wrap up this way, and then you're losing this portion. So I'm going to cut here next so I can keep that nice long portion there. Beautiful. And then I'm going to come over on this side and clip here. Now I will go in and clean up after I get my middle section out, is when I'm going to go through for final cuts to see where I need them to be. But I am going to for sure file this part down here. But I am going to clip it because I know for sure that I'm going to be filing there. So I don't have to wait till the end to do that. Next, I'm going to clip here. I'm just going around, and always leave, if you're unsure, leave more metal there than you normally would, because you can always take more away, but adding it back on is a little difficult, if not impossible. So next I'm going to come over here. I know this is going to be filed down, so I'm going to chop right here at the top, because I can always take away, I can't add. Alright, that looks pretty good. I'm also going to do that on this side. And we're going to cut probably here. Might be a little hard to see where I'm cutting because this filigree makes it hard for even myself to kind of follow that frame. but I know you got it. If I can do it, you can do it. Beautiful. Might need to be cut through a little bit. And be careful putting your fingers over the parts that you have already cut because they do get sharp. That's why filing is very important. Alright, our next one, I'm going to cut a little bit lower on this one so I can see where my cutting needs need to be after I take the circle out. We're going to do another cut here. I'm making my way around the circle. See where else we need to be. This one is going to be one of those where I have to really work on this little thin piece, so I'm going to skip that for now. Go on to this next one, just cutting what I know I can cut right now, and then going in later. If you question it, skip it, and come back. There we go. Alright, we're almost meeting there on the center. So I also need to clip here. And I'll clip down here because I know I can take more of that off. And let's do this one here. And it's probably like the longest portion of this is getting this center cut out of the frame. I'm gonna cut it on this one because you really just have to look at it where you've already cut and where you're going. I'm gonna cut here. Alright. Looks like I only have a couple more places attaching, so I'm going to tackle those more thick places, but still leaving space in case I go too far. So this one, I'm going to probably take that whole thing right where the thin line is. I think I accidentally split this one though, because I went a little too high. Should listen to my own advice. Don't get too close if you're not for sure. Oops. Oopsie daisy. Alright, we're looking pretty good. We are almost there. So I have one more left. And I can clip it in these two smaller spots. I don't need to clip that big one. So let's clip here. And clip on the other side. Hopefully I don't split that one. I almost did. These are hard. I'll probably wiggle this off now. Here we go. Now we have a big frame. This is our leftover piece. See how sharp that is? So be very careful as you're coming around and holding your piece from the back because it is sharp. Oh, how funny, Monica. Yeah, I thought so, Uncle Doug. I was like, I'm pretty sure you said that your phone could do that too. Alright. I need to come in and clean up some of these spots. So I need to shear off this chunk before I come in with my file. I want things to be flush as much as I can get them. I don't need all this extra stuff on here, so I'm probably gonna snip it here along the rounded side and around this rounded side. good. I'm gonna pull this to the front though, because that's sharp, and I'm just gonna get rid of that right now, because I don't want to cut myself with it. Alright, for this one, I'm just going to squeeze on either side. And get this to bend out here. Beautiful. Probably do this spot here too. So this one, it does take time because you need to ensure that all your sharp points are taken care of, that your frame looks good. And I hammered my frame here up top. That's why it looks a little bit different than the one that I'm working with right now. So this one has that really pretty depth to it, but I took that out with my other one. Now if this piece wasn't so long here, I would probably take this off, but my pliers I don't think will do a very good job at that. So I'm not going to do that chunk, but I might do this chunk here. Actually, let's pull this a little more straight so it's not popping up out at me. That's better. That's looking pretty good. Yeah. Alright. Grab your files. And you're going to come in and file everything that you had cut. Everything. It gets sharp. And it'll give you a really nice finished look at the end once you're done filing. I might have to take that off. You'll also be able to tell which pieces you need to cut down a little bit more before you can file. But just get your initial frame out and then go through. I always do the finger test. Is that like nails on a chalkboard for some of you? Sometimes I can't stand the sound of filing metal. But it has to be done. Anyway, you would go all the way around using your file. I'm not going to listen to that. Sorry. Go all the way around with your file. And then I just hammered mine flat. Let's pull that up. Get a big old hammer. I didn't hammer it super flat. I just hammered it enough to remove the dap, but still keep that cool texture on the top. I'm going to hammer it from this way so my piece goes back flat. Beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay. And then on the bottom here of my frame, I did 2 hole punches on either side so it would sit in the middle and not off to one side or the other side. It sits right in the middle with the 2 jump rings, and the 2 hole punches we put on the bottom of our filigree there, which attach to our looped stem leaf. You already have your 2 hole punches in your butterfly, so you're going to be doing 4 punches in your filigree. So you're going to find out where you want it to sit first. If you want it up high, like higher with a low frame, like this, or if you want it to sit lower with a high frame, like that, or if you want it to sit in the middle, like I did. And I made sure that to find my top, both of my hole punch holes have to line up with a border chunk so you can put a hole punch through this and be able to connect your butterfly to it. So I just slide my butterfly around like I'm doing until both holes, until I can see natural brass filigree under both holes. But I need to ensure that I have just enough space to hole punch. So if you flip it around and you don't think there's enough space for a hole punch like there, I'm just going to keep moving. One of the spots, one of the times that you go over the natural brass underneath and over, you're going to find a spot like this one. So you can see that there's the natural brass behind that hole and the natural brass behind this hole. Holding it very tightly together, I would mark it with your hole punch, slide up whatever side you need. I think that's going to go through really nicely. I hope so. Oh, Janet, that's a good idea. Everybody's full of good ideas today. It looks like it went a little low, so there's just like a tiny amount of metal hitting there. Otherwise, you can just hook it to this in general and it'll stay there. But I'm going to line that hole back up. I should have put it up just a little bit more. But I know that my other side will be perfect. Alright, holding it tight, lining up where I need to punch, and my hole puncher. Get that in there. Make sure my holes line up. Golden. Golden, I hope. I try my best to explain things the best that I can. Good idea, Peggy, with the resin. Because I am a very not good. I don't want to say like I'm terrible at it, but I'm not great at following direction if it's coming verbally. And I'm really not good at following directions when I have to follow like a video typically, unless somebody's really in-depth explaining it. I only learn by doing hands-on work. That's it. I'm so terrible at like hearing somebody tell me directions verbally and I'm like, wait, what? Say that again? How do I do that? Like, I can't see you doing it. I don't know what you're talking about. So I try my hardest to make the explanation the easiest that I can for you guys to follow, because I know how difficult it can be to follow demos and techniques like that. Alright, so here I am at the center there. I would punch my 2 holes on either side of this, so it sits in the middle of that. You're a visual learner, Peggy. I am a hands-on learner for sure. No doubt about it. Alright, let me put 2 in here. So 1. And then we need to do another one on the other side of that. Alright, bring it down just a bit. There we go. Did someone walk in here? Oh, maybe it was Uncle Doug. I wasn't looking, but I didn't know if like maybe the UPS guy or something like walked behind me. I just didn't know. Alright, I got my 2 little hole punches there, which are going to connect into my leaf. So each jump ring is going to come down from those 2 holes, and both jump rings will thread into the loop that we made with our leaf. You're going to string your 2 jump rings on to the 2 hole punches that you had made in your filigree. And then, using those same jump rings that you're jump ringing your filigree to your butterfly with, is where I connected my chain. And then went straight into the connector there, the double-sided. So I used two, one on either side, as my quote-unquote chain extender. I just love the way that putting connectors and charms and components, beads, whatever it may be in the chain, because it just elevates the look. And sometimes just straight chain can be boring, and sometimes your focal, like this, can be absolutely huge. Tiny chain doesn't look super great with it unless you add these two little connectors there, because it really makes everything blend a bit better. There we go. And pull that up. Gorgeous. I'm going to bring up that connector pack once more. 20 pieces for $20. Cart 107. Natural brass connector. I used 4 of them in my design. You do not have to double them up. You can use them just one-on-one. So you can use just 2 instead of 4 if you wanted. That's not a big deal. But I like them when they're doubled up. It just makes them look a little bit thicker. Put that there. There you go. That's how you do your butterfly leaf filigree framed necklace. But I like the resin idea. Let's quickly add some paint to this, and then we'll bring Uncle Doug on for some trivia if he wants to get his trivia ready while we're painting this. And then we can get rolling on that. Maybe pick out the doodle early, because Corian wants to go home. No, it's not that. It's not that serious. I just talk and talk and talk and can't stop talking. I'm thinking mermaid fin on the butterfly. So I'll bring that baby out. Whew, what should I do? I think I'm gonna leave the filigree frame brass. And then, well, let's just start off with this mermaid fin and see how we like it. Before I keep saying, and then, hold on. I also have been snacking on some chicken salad and Ritz crackers, because what else? It's so good. I love it. Okay. Let's do some mermaid fin here. Just on my butterfly. And then I'm going to move that around with a brush. And I don't like super vibrant, so I'm going to try and stretch this as much as I can. Kind of making it look into an eerie color instead of just mermaid fin. We're going to go with that less opaque look. That way it's still shimmery. A little bit of our antennas up there. See, we're not chopping up animals today. We are coloring them, making them look beautiful. I'm going to do the mermaid fin there. Don't think that it looks bad yet. Just wait. Trust the process, is what I've been saying quite frequently. Just trust the process. Next week, you guys are really going to have to trust the process. I'll tell you what. I had to trust the process myself. Alright. Get that dry. And then I'm going to do a little bit, I want a little bit of variation. So I'm going to pull this. I'm going to pull some really, 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 really dark blue. Okay. Very dark blue. But I'm going to put it off to the side here. Oh, hold on. I'm going to get a pin here to unclog this. Ooh, that might be too thick. Yeah, hold on. I pulled 16 gauge wire. I was like, that's gonna be too thick for my nozzle. There we go. Just need to unclog it a little bit, just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit of blue. Most of what you're seeing there is bubbles. There's not even that much paint there. Alright. See? All the bubbles are starting to pop, so it's getting to be even less paint. Just trust me. Trust me. Just the smallest amount. Might need a little bit more, actually, but it's doing what I want it to do, so maybe not. Maybe that was actually perfect. Okay, hold on, and then we can take our relief block to it. Hold on. I know it's still connected to my thing. This reminds me of my school colors, white and blue for the Pirates, but this gives it like a little silvery tone. I love it. I may need to set this down. Alright. So now we have our very pretty blue butterfly. Looks like it's got its powder on it, which is what I'm looking for. We'll add a little bit. Should we add a little bit to the leaf? We'll do the color shift. Hopefully I still have that. It's my favorite one to use, and I think I lost it. Otherwise, I can brush some Erie Blue on it. That's what I'll do. I'll just do some Erie Blue. Because I don't know where my color shift went. Some Erie Blue. Where did my brush go? I think I put that back. Make sure I get my brush dried here. Oh, well that's kind of giving me the blue-violet color shift that I'm looking for. So it is Erie Blue, but it's giving off like a little bit of a violet when it's brought up against the lighter and the darker blue together. Which, Erie Violet, this might be Erie Violet. No way. This one's definitely, yeah, this one's Erie Blue. So it's pulling it's pulling a little violet because of the blue tones that I have underneath it. It's a different blue tone, so it's kind of mixing a little bit, but it's really, really pretty. So if you wanted to use the blue-violet color shift on this, absolutely stunning. Otherwise, use the metallic blue mermaid fin, which is metallic aqua, and then do a little bit of the Erie Blue. That's so pretty. Okay. Probably doesn't look as pretty for you guys. Hold on. Because I have some harsh light going on. These are dry yet. You can tell that's still a little wet here. Thanks. Thanks, Glenda. Gorgeous. Love it, love it. So now you have a shimmery, dark blue, light blue, violet, color changing butterfly. That's so pretty. All right. I think it's time to bring Uncle Doug on. He's been waiting on me. I wanted to make sure that he was ready. Just kidding. Uncle Doug's always ready. All right. Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
I'm bringing up the next earrings here real quick.
What do you got to give away?
This is what's coming up next after the trivia, these earrings. But for our trivia, let's do the panel pack.
Okay, that's a good choice.
This is my last design, so if we want to skip the last trivia and then do the big loot.
Which one's the last trivia? I'm sorry, which giveaway?
It's a carded giveaway. Is the last one.
Yeah, this is probably, I don't know. What do you think is better, this or the other one?
I mean, either or. We can do the carded one. Which are these four?
Just useful stuff. You know, the carded one is useful things.
Yeah.
But the panel's nice too, you know.
We can do the carded ones. Everybody could always use some blanks and jump rings.
Let's just do two back to back here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about that?
Okay. I'm gonna snack while you do that then.
All right, you snack away. Here's the question. Which popular condiment was once sold as a medicinal cure for diarrhea? Which popular condiment was once sold as a medicinal cure for diarrhea? One more. Which popular condiment was once sold as a medicinal cure for diarrhea?
I think that's the one time.
Yeah, I was reading it as I went along. I didn't scan ahead.
I was like, that is the one time I'll ever be able to get Uncle Doug on something like that.
Oh,
he
no.
gets me nearly every day.
There's plenty of opportunity, believe me. Okay, so what is the answer to this one? Peggy, so close. Yeah, Marietta, so close. Everybody's.
I love mustard.
Kathy Ketchup Coppinger.
She's so good.
Yeah. I should have done a Heinz bottle.
That would have been funny. Good job, Kathy.
Wow. Kat over on YouTube was so close.
We have a doodle for Kathy.
Well, we do, as a matter of fact.
So Kathy gets the blank pack, and then we'll do the panel pack trivia right now as well then. All right, let me bring up this one. I like to do it when you say the winner.
Okay. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, here's a ketchupy little drawing.
Cute. I'll come out to you for that one. You're
Little
doing another
candle.
trivia.
That's for you, Kathy. Congratulations. And I think we're going to go right into our next one, which was the panels, right? We're going to go in for our panels. Hey! Corey's out here paying me a visit.
Yep, I'm grabbing her trivia.
I wonder why it's so jumpy. I'm getting like pauses here. Well, if that wasn't good enough, we've got another question here. I'm rooting for YouTube over here today. What is the name of the world's hottest chili pepper?
I know this one.
What is the name of the world's hottest chili pepper?
I think I know this one.
What is the name of the world's hottest chili pepper? Now, I did not fact check this or cross check it in Google. I went off of a trivia list. So if it's not right, I take responsibility, but that's explaining why it's not right.
I think I know what it is.
Looking for the answers to come in.
That was my guess, Jean, and Lori, and Patty.
It's not what I've got. So there's going to be some debate on this one, right? Still waiting for another answer. Come on, y'all. That's a hint.
Dang it, I would have thought that it was a ghost pepper too.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah, Pepper X is not it either. Keep them coming in. Ooh,
Connie said Carolina Reaper.
Connie Benner's got it. That matches the answer I was looking for. Now, whether it's correct or not, I guess that's disputable. Connie Benner with the Carolina Reaper.
Good job, Connie.
Dang it. Trying to copy your name, but all the answers keep flowing in.
Monica goes, Google it, LOL.
Well, that's what I didn't do. Like I said, I'm not vetting all these questions necessarily.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Habanero was my second guess, Lori.
Yeah, Cat over on YouTube. Yeah, she got it later too. So, Connie. We'll give a little doodle here.
According to Guinness, it's Pepper X, Peggy says.
Guinness? Was there a world record?
Yeah. Good job,
like
Connie.
I said, well, maybe Guinness will put on a trivia competition and you'll be able to put that in for an answer and get it right.
Right.
And get a free Guinness Book of World Records. All right, here it is.
That would be fun. Oh,
Right,
it's a cute little bird.
Bernie.
All right, Birdman. What type of bird is that?
It is an indescript bird. It is a Tweety bird.
Fun.
With a little more red on normal.
Love it. All right.
We're waiting for Sylvester.
Sylvester. Goodness.
All right, you gonna fling me out of here?
Yep, we will see you over here. Okay, dokey. Artichoke. Oh. How fun. I would have thought that it was the ghost pepper, though. For sure. Okay. Ghost shows up 5 below Carolina Reaper? No way, Kathy.
So maybe my trivia list is older.
It might be.
And Ghost X is now a new
Right.
breed, a new
Yeah,
variety that
a
came.
new.
So
Because I've never heard of that one before.
Yeah.
Pepper X. So.
Yeah, it's very possible. A new strain of hot pepper.
Yes.
Thanks everybody for playing.
Woohoo! All right, so we have one more demo to go through, and then we'll do our big loot giveaway. You guys know.
By the way, that was me the other moment when I knocked
Oh,
over
okay.
Pins.
Okay.
Just so you know, there's no that ghost in here. You know?
Sure. Do you guys believe in ghosts? This is the big loot giveaway, though. You guys know the drill. Love React for a chance to win the big loot giveaway. A whole lot of DIY components, jewelry making components that you can make a lot of money off of if you win the big loot giveaway. More money to spend on vintage. That's what we like to hear. But there's this really cool, look at this. This is insane. What the heck? That's beautiful. Let's see if I can get let me set this down here. See if I got anything underneath of it. So you can get some better lighting here. That's crazy. That is so pretty. That spoon ring. Spoon bail. Beautiful. Get a big old crystal in there. This is a resin project that I did a while ago, making it look like it's amethyst poking through. Let me know if you guys want to see that technique again. But yes, Love React to win the free big loot giveaway. All you have to do is have an open order with us on vintageliveshop.com to claim it. To enter, just Love React to the live, and Love React anyway if you've already won, because it helps us tremendously with gauging our organic traffic. So please, please, please. And share it too. Sharing helps a lot as well. Alright. Easy peasy earrings. Number 1, you're going to need this triangle hoop. This thing is freaking awesome. 4 pieces for $18, cart 108. It is solid brass. It's rounded. And it's got a little loop up here. So if you want to just use it like this and hang a little charm or hang a little bead in there, stunning. Would be super, super cool. But I wanted to see, because you guys know what I like to do with puff charms. I like to pull them apart and use them and multiply my product. So, Peggy believes in ghosts. I do too. I do too. Alright. Take your bead awl. Shove it in that hole. Be very careful when you're doing this so you don't... Hold on. Do I still have the mark? The other day I did it and I sprung up so hard that I put a hole in my finger. I think it's healed since, but it was not fun. Oh, there it is. It went straight through my... It didn't go straight through my pinky, but it went in there pretty deep because I went, whoa, and it just poked me pretty hard. So be careful when you're using your bead awls because they can be dangerous. But let's try and avoid those dangerous things. I think I need to come in just a little bit more, probably on the other side too with my bead awl. Just sticking it in that crack. There we go. We're going to pull her open. Bend her off. Now you have 2 pieces instead of just 1. Which, also, you don't have to hammer them. You can leave them like this. They'll just have open backs. You can fill the open backs with resin, too. But super cute. Turn it into 2 pieces instead of 1 pieces. Thanks, Kathy. Kathy, is it Colin? I can barely... The comments are so tiny on that end that it's very hard for me to see. But I think maybe you might be new as well. I'm not sure that I've seen your name before, but if I have, hello, welcome back. If not, everybody welcome Kathy. Alright. We're going to file off this knob here. That was our hinge for our open, piece together. Make sure that's flush. Good, pretty good. Beautiful. Other side. That little tab there. You can unfile it, or you can probably come in and clip some of that off to ease your filing. Here we go. Then come in with the file. Beautiful. Glide in my finger and make sure there's no sharp pieces. So Kathy, this one's not a kit. So the only kit that I sold today are these earrings. Not the ones that I'm showing now, the ones that I'm getting out right now. So these earrings, I am selling a complete kit for $24 on vintageliveshop.com. Otherwise, I can pull up that cart number for you. And to place an order on Facebook, you just need to put cart and then whatever 3 numbers come after. So cart 108, press enter on your comment section. That will prompt your Facebook Messenger app to create a shopping cart for you. If you're not comfortable shopping off of Facebook, totally fine. Go to vintageliveshop.com and then you will see the full earring kit there that comes with everything you need to make these earrings. And this is the only kit that we offer today. Otherwise, everything else is offered in bulk packs. So for instance, you can get 4 pieces for $18 of this piece, and then so on and so forth as we go through them. Welcome, welcome. Good question though. Good question. All right, so for this portion, I'm going to hammer these out flat like I did up there. So we're going to take our steel bench block and our rubber dapping block, or is it rubber bench block maybe is what we call it. All right, let's hammer these flat because I wanted to add this little cool gemstone looking resin jump ring down there at the bottom. Beautiful. And you do the other one as well. Take that one off. Gorgeous, gorgeous. That's looking really good. Super good. So we did that using the flat side of our hammer. Now we're going to flip it around and use the round side of our hammer, but I am going to switch hammers. So I'm going to go to, instead of my 8-ounce hammer, I'm going to do my 4-ounce hammer because it has a little bit of a smaller rounded edge. So that's what I'm going to use to do my rounded part. Come through and knock it a bunch of times to get that hammered element look. If you don't like hammer noises, you can turn your volume down or mute. Because come to find out, there's quite a bit of ladies that do like the hammer noises. That's what we found out over the past couple years. Beautiful. So if you want a bigger hammered look, use the bigger hammer, but if you want smaller hammered looks, use the smaller hammer. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then I'm just kind of circling this around in the light. So I have a light right here that I am using the reflection off the brass to gauge where my hammered parts are and where I need to add some more hammering. But we're looking pretty good. with where we're at right now. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to just do some light taps here on the back to get it flattened back out. And then we're going to add a little bit of paint to this. So I added onyx to this piece. Let's do, I'm going to do like a warm look. Maybe we'll try, where's my sienna? Or not my sienna, maybe my sienna. It's one of my browns. Oh, it might be down here. We'll do earth. Earth. And then I'm going to get my heat gun out because as I'm applying this earth, I want to be applying heat at the same time. And I'm also going to apply this with the paper towel. I'm not going to apply it with my paintbrush. So, yep, that's enough coming out of there. Tear off some paper towel here. Alright, I'm going to turn my heat gun on, even though it's not over here. That way I can just grab it and start heating while I'm dabbing. I'm going to move some of my tools out of the way. There we go. Let's put some of this on my paper towel here. And then as I go, I'm going to be applying heat at the same time. This is going to give me like a very rustic, weathered look. Beautiful. I'm only going to do one of these anyway, so find the lid for my paint there. Then you're going to take your relief block to it. So this is what it looks like right now. Textured, beautiful, looks very weathered. I love it, but I do want to see some more of the high points with a little bit of the paint in the low points like I do down here in those earrings. So I'm going to set this down, take the relief block to it. Maybe this one. Nope, that one's even more worn. We'll do this one over here. Set her down and get to scrubbing. I'm pressing pretty dang hard on this relief block. I might need to get some new ones here. You're looking pretty hammered. Thanks, Pegs. That's looking pretty good. Not as relieved as I want it, but I mean, we're pretty much there. I've used nearly all sides of this relief block, so finding somewhere where I haven't touched it yet is proving to be difficult. I just want this one spot a little more relieved. So I'm doing whatever I can to get my relief block in that area. That's better. Way better. Gorgeous. All right. Now that we have that portion done, you need to take a tiny dragonfly, which I'm going to put this pack up next. 20 pieces for $20, a buck a piece. These are solid brass princess dragonflies that are pre-painted with onyx paint to make their details pop. So 20 of those solid brass dragonflies pre-painted with onyx for $20, cart 109. So I need that, and then you'll also need a rivet. RV040 is the rivet that I used for these earrings. So I'm going to bring that out next. And I might have to, if I'm remembering correctly, I have to extend this hole on this dragonfly. So we're going to do that using our bead awl here. Not only can this extend holes, but it can help extend chain links if it's not soldered, etc. Or if it's, yeah, not soldered. That's looking pretty good. I have to do that on this piece as well. I might need to get another bead awl here too. I'm going to take my chain nose pliers. I'm going to grip the top. Not like totally grip it. I'm going to leave some space there. But I'm going to go like this with my bead awl to help push it through so I don't ruin my fingernails. I'll try that and see if we're through the hole enough here. Let's stick it through my dragonfly first. Oh, it looks like we're almost there. Hold on. Let me grab my other needle here. One that's a little less thick at the top point, and then I'll do this one here. This one will probably glide a little bit easier. Alright, let's see what we can do with this. If we're there yet or not. Perfect. It fits right through, so that's good. Let's see if it fits through the second hole that we need to go through here. Beautiful. I'm going to put my dragonfly straight and flip it over, because now we need to rivet this down. The rivet looks a little high on this, so we're going to clip it just a tiny bit. Not a whole lot. Just enough. Good. Alright, next, grab your hammer. I'm using the 4-ounce hammer for this, the smaller. Not the smallest, but the smaller one. And as I'm holding down my piece, I'm going to slowly mushroom this rivet out. Alright, I'm going to flip hammer heads. Yeah, she's going nowhere. Beautiful. So I'm going to hit it a couple times here from the front to flatten out my rivet. Looking pretty good. My rivet's not totally flat right now though, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to add a chaton to that. But if you keep your rivet relatively flat, you'll be able to add that chaton. That's a little bit better there. There you go. That should be enough to glue a chaton on. Alright, now for our bezels here. Grab 2 JR07s. I am selling a bulk pack of JR07s. There's going to be 4 different finishes in this pack. So I'm putting up this pack now. 72 pieces for $20. JR07 cart 110. They are brass based jump rings, which you're going to have included antique copper plate, antique gold plate, and silver antique plated as well. So there's 4 finishes. Actually, put those down here so the finishes are easier to see. There we go. They are the ribbed oval jump rings, 10 by 7 millimeters. But these are great and the perfect size for doing these little bezels with. I need to make sure that I can probably... Oh, I'm on the wrong site there. There we go. But these are really good for these bezel techniques, and then there's a couple other ones, but this pack I know I have more stock of, so I'm gonna put some more here in stock right now before it like sells out and then people don't think that they can get any, because it's pretty close to doing that. Oh yeah, so it's sold out. I'm adding some right now. So if you need this, you can now order it. So cart 110 jump ring sampler, 72 pieces. Cart 110, $20. 4 finishes come in this pack. 18 pieces each finish. Copper antique plate, gold antique plate, silver antique plate, and just gold plate. So this is a really good sampler pack to get. And then I'm going to get my resin tape ready because I have found a technique that helps these stay on really secure. And there's only 5 left of this triangle pack left to make this earring. So make sure you grab those, because those probably won't be coming back either. So resin tape is rule number 1. You can do this directly on the piece, but I find that doing it this way helps it stay on the piece. Couldn't tell you how many times I've had like a resin drop like that fall off of my piece, but I found a way that prevents that more from happening. We'll just use a little piece of resin tape here, so it's not a big jump ring. All right, so I used copper on my original earrings, but I think I'm going to use the gold antique on this one because it matches the Dragonfly. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the gold antique plate for this demo. So I need to close this jump ring very flat. It needs to sit flat. You don't want runoff underneath of it from the resin. Here we go. Yep, perfect. Nice and flat. Could probably even do it just a little bit more up there. Good. All right, and put that on my resin tape. Okay. Make sure she's stuck down, but not sticking my own finger to it. So I'm gonna do this with my pliers here. Make sure that we're stuck all the way down. If it does have runoff, you can. I've done it with runoff before. You can just clip it off and sand it. Not that big of a deal. Alright, so grab a little bit of resin. Where the heck did mine go? I might need to grab that. Okay, well, I'm gonna need to grab that, but I need, what vibrant color do we want to put in? We will do blue. We'll do blue for this one. Let me grab my resin quick. Oh, that's okay. I knew where it was. You probably wouldn't want to pick this one up anyway because it's got resin on the side of the bottle. Yeah, it's a little gross. Because so one of the days I had my cart, and I guess I pushed my cart and it made my resin fall over. And when your resin falls over like that, it'll leak. And it'll leak down the side of your bottle onto whatever it is. So make sure your resin's always sitting up like this. Because mine always leak if they drop on the side. Oh yeah, you could do a drop of metallic for sure. Alright. It should now. It was sold out there for a minute for the JR07, but I did put it back in stock, so hopefully that Carter is working for you now, Connie. So I'm going to do a drop of resin, tiny drop. I'm going to make sure that that is going all the way around my jump ring. So I'm going to drag it over a little bit here. Here we go. Good. Let me shake up my paint here. Tiny. Ooh, that's too big even. Hold on. The initial drop that's coming out of this is too much. Let me do a little bit on... Where's that? Okay, I'm going to do a little bit on the 16 gauge wire that I had. Because I put too much in my initial design for the green. But I just want little accents of colors in this resin. I don't want it super opaque because then it gets really hard for the resin to cure all the way through. You can work in layers though. I'm just adding little bits of paint with this 16 gauge wire. And then I'll go over with a top coat of resin once I pop this and I about put the resin cap on my paint. That would not have worked. Alright, let's grab the UV light. I'm gonna pop this sucker in there. It shouldn't take too long to cure because it is a smaller piece. And I didn't totally overrun the resin with paint, thankfully. You might have to refresh it, Connie. Yeah, because it's showing back up in stock for me now. So you should be able to refresh it if it's not pulling for your messenger. It should, at least. I don't know why it wouldn't. Sure thing. Alright. Let's see where we're at with this beauty. I'm going to flip it over in my UV light to help the bottom cure a little bit. We'll see where we get with that, and then we'll do the top coat, and then I'll show you how I adhere it to my piece here. So while we're waiting for that to cure, take your bead awl and find like your center, wherever you want your jewel to be. Create some scratches. They're going to be covered up anyway. Don't do like a huge area, but just on the area that you know is going to be covered by your jewel, your resin jewel we're creating. some nice scoring here. So we have this scored like that, okay? All right, we'll see how we're looking on this. That's looking pretty, so I'm gonna add some more resin here on top since we scored our spot. And this should cure even quicker now because it's not, whatchamacallit, the other head pin here. It's not mixed with paint this time, it's just a top coat of clear resin. Beautiful. Looks pretty even. I'm gonna drag this into the light again. With that to cure, it looks like I'm leaking just a tiny bit. But nothing to like cause a problem, which is nice. It's just expanding a little bit. Alright. So Peggy said, you said do a little bit of that silver there. So let's try that while our thing's curing. Let's see if I can just do a drop of it. Oh, no, too much is coming out. Sometimes, I'm telling you, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But I'm going to put it on the end of a head pin here. And scoop some of this moonstone off that's been pouring out. I'm a sucker for always gluing things on top of my rivet. Always. There you go, that looks good, Peggy. Nice. And probably come in a little bit underneath because there is a little bit of brass that's showing here. There we go. That looks good. And then I need to come in with my paper towel because I did go over just a little bit. Just a tiny bit here. Good idea, Peggy. So now I know what to do when I run out of chatons. Alright. Beautiful. Put the heat gun on that quick. And then we're going to pull our handmade jewel out of our UV light. Alright, so this is what we're looking like. Just a tad of blue in there, little blue speckles. Pull this off my resin tape and see what we're looking like underneath. Oh, that's looking pretty good. Oh yeah, I'm actually really happy that it cured all the way through, because sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes I have to put it back in the light. But this one did. I have a little bit of leftover resin tape on here, the adhesive. Sometimes that does come off, sometimes it doesn't. I'm just going to scrape that off with my nail there. Okay. And then I have just a little bit of overspill. You can see there. Take your file up against it. That's pretty good. I'll do it right here too because I can see it. Filing up against it. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay. Then you score the bottom of your resin with your beetle as well. Don't press super hard so you don't like put a hole in it or break it, but Definitely scratch her up underneath. This is not on top, this is on the bottom side. Okay. I'll take one more look at this a little bit back here. Okay. Grab some. What am I seeing? Okay, maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on me. Grab Loctite. I'm using liquid Loctite this time, not the gel. You can use the gel. Gel will totally work, but this is just what I have on hand. And then I like to use, because it's not a huge surface by any means. I'm going to use this 16 gauge wire that I found a little bit earlier. I'm just going to dip that into my liquid Loctite. And then let it first drip off one drip. And then I'm going to put the Loctite on my etched area with my wire here. Put that off to the side. And then we're going to lay our etched side of our jewel on top of that. Bring it over just a little bit more center. And press. So it gets locked on tight. There you go. That works, Connie. Thanks for recommending that, Peggy. Yes, so if you comment the cart number, pieces will not be reserved. You have to check out for them to be reserved. Otherwise, somebody can quote unquote steal them right out of your cart. So you have to check out to make sure that pieces are reserved for you. Gorgeous. Thanks for that recommendation, Peggy. And then I attached a JR10 or JR20, you can choose, either or would probably work, to a JR40 into my ER40. But this is like a brown blue, this is a black green version, one with paint, one with an actual chaton. But it's cute. And then scoring your metal and scoring your resin and then adding Loctite helps it stick immensely. Sometimes if you have resin from, like, let's say this, and then this was put on directly to the metal, I did this one like that and it fell off when I was going through with the relief block around. I didn't even touch this and it fell off. So scoring it is how I got it back on both sides, and I mean, it's like, it's going nowhere. So score both your metal and your resin, and then Loctite on instead of doing the resin adhesion to the metal like by itself to help your jewelry last longer. All right, that's all I have for that one. Let's go back to the hoop pack. Let's see how many left are that. So, our hoop pack, cart 108, 4 pieces for $18. There's only 4 of those left. And then we have our tiny dragonfly pack. I have a little bit more of these left, but cart 109 for the solid brass pre-painted dragonfly. And then your JR07 pack, 18 pieces each finished, 72 pieces pack quantity, 4 different finishes. Antique copper, antique gold, antique silver, as well as gold plate. So I do have enough of those if you ladies want to purchase the jump ring pack as well. Loctite is not necessary. E6000 will work as well. Any jewelry glue. Any jewelry glue. I've been using Loctite for the longest time. It hasn't failed me, so that's just probably what I'm going to continue using is Loctite, but E6000 will work. Absolutely. All right. So if that's all the questions for today, I'm going to get this Big Loot giveaway ready, as well as our look for our jewelry, so you can see what it looks like on. So before I do that, let's show the Big Loot giveaway one more time. You know the drill. Look at all these DIY components that you can get just by love reacting to the live. Must have an open order with us on vintageliveshop.com so we can ship it to you. Otherwise, you're getting all this product for free just by love reacting to the video. And then at the end, after the jewelry look, I will put all of your names into a wheel and we will spin for the winner. You can only win once within 6 months. Otherwise, we will redraw if somebody has been drawn before. All right, let's get into the look here. See what this stuff looks like on. It's the best part. It's the best part. Ugh. Okie dokie. Now you get two of me for a second. Hold on. Here we go. Now there's me. Hello. Sorry. I'm not dressed very cute today. Maybe I should take my hat off. Maybe that'll help a little bit. I brought this shirt with me so I wouldn't look like crazy this morning. But I was rushing. I had to take the garbage out this morning. Just so many different things where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to have to bring a shirt with me and then we'll make it work that way. How about that? There we go. That's a little bit better. Some harsh light. A little harsh light. There we go. Whatever floats your boat. Alright, we'll open this up for our necklace. But I wanted to wear something that... Oh, I probably didn't make this big enough to go over my head. I didn't add a clasp to it. That's why I love the finished necklaces, because I already have clasps. I have to chop this one. I'm just going to have to hold this one up because I didn't put a clasp on it. So this is what it would look like long. That's insane. Do you like to the light and then away from the light so you guys can see what it looks like with the reflection? That's stunning when it's long. So long version, or actually I'm going to put you up here so it looks a little bit better. There we go. So long version, stunning. Absolutely, Janet. And then short version will come up a bit. Love it. Love it. I wish I dressed a little bit more cute today because I look like a freaking crazy woman. Yeah, big, bold, and beautiful. Like, ignore this because that's not part of it. I just caught a glimpse of what it might look like as a headdress. Oh, hold on, I'll show you. Don't worry. Sometimes I do that with the jewelry that goes over my head that I can fit over my head. I'll, like, let it sit there for a minute. Maybe that's where my warrior princess nickname came from. Just kidding. Hold on. Like, you could do like a... Hold on. Can we make, like, jewelry headbands like that? I mean, like, take the leaf off, but just, like, a headband would be really... You could do, like, elastic. Do elastic on either side so you can, like, put it up there. That would be cute. What if we take the leaf away? Then it's just this, which is really pretty, too. Cute. Beautiful. All right, so that's the first one. Let's do the bracelet. I'm a big fan of this bracelet. I do have a photo of this when it's on vintageliveshop.com. I have since lost my bracelet putter on her, my bracelet helper. So I'm not going to be able to clasp this, but hold on. I'll hold it up to where would be typically. That is so pretty. The iridescent grain really just makes it. So a good suggestion from Jean on the earring. Beautiful. Maybe come this way a little bit to try and do like different lighting for you. It's hard to do that when it's trying to stay on here. Pull it back up to where it should be. Yeah, that's really pretty. I love the sheen. Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right, next. We have 2 pairs of earrings, and then we'll do our big loot giveaway. We have these earrings. These are so pretty. Look at those, you guys. That's insane. Those are a really good length, too. I love it. I love it. Isn't the bracelet beautiful? Yes, Janet, that's what I was thinking. The headband elastic would be really freaking cool. Yes. You should try it. Try something like that and post it in DIY Vintage because I just have to see it. I just have to know. All right. Last ones are my favorite ones as well. I have to turn it this way. Oops. Oh, those are insane. Are you joking? Shut the front door. You guys. Those are incredible. Hold on. Hold on. These are ER40s. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them in my ears. Oh, nope. If we're determined, maybe, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get these in my ears. That's why the ER026 is just called to me. Because their gauge is perfect. Guys, I'm not even going to be able to wear my favorite freaking earrings. Oh! Okay, I got one through. Yep. That way you guys can see, like, what it looks like. Totally on. That's incredible. Those are so pretty, and that's so easy to make. Beautiful. That's a really good length, too. Love it. All right. Time for a big loot giveaway. Are you guys or gals ready for the big loot giveaway? Love react, because you're not going to get much more time to do so, because I'm going to put all the names into... Yes, the Dragonfly earrings are so cute. You're so sweet, Janet. All right. Let's do this big loot giveaway. Is Uncle Doug going to come over here, or is he going to stay where he's at? Okay. Let's pop Uncle Doug on here with us.
All righty.
Hello.
Oh, 2 of you and only 1 of me?
Yep. Hold on.
That's not right.
I know, I have to get my...
You got little Corian up the top and big Corian below.
Can I make my head, like,
Yeah, like really teensy.
work with it?
A couple things. I have a list of the YouTube people for you
Okay.
to paste over in. And also, I have started dropping off the oldest mega winners.
Sweet.
So that means that, and it's going to be, we're dropping off a week at a time as we go through this.
Sure.
So I'm not going to jump off a whole month, but I'll always drop off the oldest week.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. All right, so Lisa, Stephanie, Patricia, and Kat from
Yep.
YouTube.
Let me just do a last check, see if there's anybody else. I think that's it.
Okay.
Yep, that makes it for YouTube.
Okay, and then let's see what I have for my warehouse ladies. 30, so you have a 1 in 30 chance, but I'm going to make sure that we don't have duplicates for YouTube. So I'm going to Control V that in there. I'm going to sort A to Z. Alright, who's trying to win twice? Who's trying to get better chances? I won't call you out. Lisa? No, I'm just kidding.
No, Lisa was on at both places. That it would explain that.
Yep, and so was Patricia, so I'm going to take her second one out. Alright, so it looks like our duplicates are gone.
Scramble them.
Yep, I'm going to shuffle them. Beautiful. So you have a 1 in 32 chance. There's 32 entries in here. Alright, are we ready?
I sure. Ooh.
Pretty, huh?
Bold colors there. Looks like 1980s all over again.
Heck yeah. Alright, 1,
Or 90s.
2, 3.
Spinner. Getting dizzy. Whoa. Okay, now we got to do a check.
Yep.
Yep, she's won before.
Okay. Close her out, and we're gonna spin again. 1, 2, 3.
Let's see if we got Sherry. Yep, she's won.
Okay, spin. Your
Yep.
chances are getting better.
Yeah, wow, the odds are really improving now. Let's try a Wingard, Laura. Yep, she's won.
Okay,
Remember?
this will be our last spin. No, I'm just kidding. We'll see.
No, we got to spin until we get a winner.
Pam.
Let's see what I find here. I don't believe she's won some trivia, but I don't believe she's ever won the mega.
Okay. We'll copy your name here. And then get you your applause. Good job. Good job. Good job. Amazing. Winner, winner. 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 Control V. Oh, you got it. Dang it. All right. Woo, 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 woo. Good job, Pam. So as long as Pam has an open order with us on vintagelifeshop.com, which she probably does because she's a very consistent person who orders with us, we will ship this to her for free. If not,
Okay, now
we will save this for next week or Friday.
Got a little Pam doodle.
Okay, let's see your Pam doodle.
Okay, we gotta roast that marshmallow.
Oh, that's a good one.
Keep warm and cozy during the winter here. Roast that marshmallow.
That's a good one. You guys, this is my new hoodie. This is my best friend. How does my tail light look? Because she rides motorcycles, so it means like she's beating everybody and they all have to look at her tail light. She's so awesome. That's why she's my best friend. But that's also another reason why I had to bring an extra shirt to wear today, because I wanted to wear my hoodie with my best friend on my back.
Clever.
I
Clever.
know. All right. So I think that's about it. I'm going to put my stuff on. Is there anything else that we need to talk about? I know Jean is doing a class on Friday, a box class, some sort of jewelry box class or something. So join Ainsley and Jean on Friday. What else? Is there anything else going on? I don't think so. We already did the stash review. Oh, when is Ainsley doing the loot? Did she already do that? Yeah. She already did that. And we've gotten all of the old orders out, so I think we're pretty much caught up now. I don't think there's anything else, though, that's really going on this month. I know soon we're going to be wanting to do we're going to do another release of new product here soon. Jean and I have been talking about
Well,
adding some stuff.
we also are in the middle of doing inventory, so we might come up with some more new type of things to offer through the warehouse sale.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If we find some overstock items in the process, we'll make sure that we make those available.
Mm-hmm.
Give those to Corey to make some really cool designs with, and then offer it up to you folks.
And then this specialty jump ring that I showed today, the JR114, I'm going to add a pack of natural brass and solid brass after the live today. Give me a minute because I have to photograph it, create the listing, etc., etc. But
did you get my message about setting aside one of those Dragonfly earring kits for me, or do we sell out of those?
Oh no, we have plenty. I'll just give you the components for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you give me those so I can make some for Nancy?
Okay. That sounds good. Are you gonna follow my technique video?
That's important. That's really important.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to come over and take a picture of them with my phone.
Jean said vintage jewelry box theme, not the box itself. Okay. Oh, Lisa, that's one of the things. Don't you worry. Jean and I have found a ton of heart and love elements that you guys will absolutely love. So keep your wallets in check.
February.
Because you're going to want to dump some money on these pieces, I'm telling you. They're really good. I'm glad you learned a lot, Lynn. That always makes me feel good. Corian, I'm taking a class to learn to embroider on hats like what you're wearing. What? That is so cool. You'll have to... We'll talk, girl. Message me. Because I love hats. Of course, Patty. Are those art metal petals? Do you have any without the holes? Janet, email me. Email me, warehouse@vintage.com. I'll take a look into it, and I'll probably be able to give you an answer tomorrow. Oh, Ainsley, the pieces are really cool, if I do say so myself. I love it. A little tooting our own horns here, but that's just what we do. That's what we do.
Well, I mean, if Ainsley says they are, then of course they are.
They have to be. All right, you guys. We are going to send you off to make some wonderful jewelry through the rest of the week. You'll see Jean and Ainsley on Friday for the jewelry box theme, vintage jewelry box theme items. And we will see you later. Love ya! Bye!